Okay, so the whole internet's abuzz with this new Cheeto-splanin thing. Some of you might be asking, what is Cheeto-splanin? Cheeto-splanin is like this. Hey, where you're doing something, and you're eating some Cheetos, and you're like, hey, man. You're like, hey, man, I'm almost out of Cheetos. I need some more Cheetos. Can you go get me another bag? And you're like, but I just bought you a bag like 5 minutes ago. You need some more? And you're like, yeah, man, I need some more Cheetos. Go get me some. And you're like, well, why can't you do it? And they're like, because I'm still watching TV. And so, you're like, okay, well, I bought you a few bags when I went to the store last time, so we got some more. I'll go get some more out of the cabinet, right? And you're like, no. It tastes better when it's a fresh bag. You got to go buy me a fresh bag. And then you're like, that doesn't make sense. And you're like, but it doesn't make sense because it's Cheeto-splanin. And then you're like, okay, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll call Uber and I'll have them deliver some Cheetos. The Cheeto gorilla goes, no, it tastes better when you buy the Cheetos for me. And then so you're like, no, I'll call a taxi and I'll go get some Cheetos. And they're like, no. And the Cheeto gorilla's like, no, it tastes better when you go to the store and buy the Cheetos for me on your own. And you're like, well, I don't have a car. And then you're like, well, the Cheeto gorilla is like, well, you better buy a car because I need some Cheetos. And you're like, okay, well, like, why don't you buy me a car and I'll go get some Cheetos for you then? And you're like, no, the car works better if you pay for it instead of me. And then you're like, well, that's going to take me a few months. I got to go to work for a few months so I can afford a car to go get Cheetos. And then you're like, well, I don't have a few months. I need some Cheetos right now. And you're like, okay, well, I'll go borrow the neighbor's car. So you go ask the neighbors to borrow the car. They give them car keys. You come back and you say, okay, I'm going to go get some Cheetos. And you're like, but you're not allowed to leave the house. If you leave the house, who knows what you're going to do? I can't trust you when you leave the house. And so, I've just summed up Cheeto gorillas and Cheeto-splanin. And I can give you some more examples if you want. But the Cheeto gorilla is basically going to jump around and bang on the glass and bang on the walls because you're not going to get Cheetos for them. But at the same time, they told you you're not allowed to leave the house to get some Cheetos. The Cheeto gorilla is getting angry at this point in time because you aren't going to get Cheetos for him. And so you're like, just calm down, I'll be back, I'll get some Cheetos. And they're like, no, you're not allowed to leave the house. You got to stay here and watch TV with me. And they're like, but I thought you wanted the Cheetos. And the Cheeto gorilla is done talking. It's jumping around, it's smacking holes in the walls, it's smacking the windows. He's picking up it picked up the TV and threw the TV. So now you got a new problem. The Cheeto gorilla needs a new TV. And guess what happens? It starts all over again, doesn't it?